Spotlight. I mean, as you said, it's one of the most engaging, exciting couples in the world. I call them Kardashians with class, because the whole couple, the mystery, the diversity, everything going with it. And then they choose Jasper. In tourism, it tensions the oxygen. There's so many people kind of competing for tourism dollars all over the world. It's 10% of the world GDP. Everybody's trying to find a way to carve out something unique, get noticed, have people create a niche saying, I'd love to go there. Jasper, they just sit back and all of a sudden they're just showered with attention. And and I think a lot of it has to do with humor as well, because the first question goes, well, why? Where is it? What?
Yeah,
why?
The headline I saw seemed like a double-edged sword. It's like, wow, the most famous couple at this moment, Harry and Meghan, choosing Canada, choosing Jasper apparently, and the headline on the international press was, the couple chooses the most boring place in the world. It was a bit of a backhanded compliment.
Well, but if I was advising Jasper, I'd say go with it. Say, yeah, we are boring. There's no real place for selfies. You actually have to just look at Mother Nature at its best. You hear and feel and taste nature. When you go off the beaten path, you're off the beaten path. You're not looking at wild animals through bars. You're going to stumble upon them. You're going to get off the grid. So yeah, if that's boring to you, chances are you're more suited for a downtown holiday. But if you come here, you're going to have one of the most extraordinary memories, and we promise it'll last a lifetime. That's what boring is to Jasper.
Can the rest of the country capitalize on this moment and not just Jasper?
Canada's doing an extraordinary job, and we had record visitors last year. It contributes almost $90 billion to our GDP. The federal government takes $10 billion in taxes. They do well with it. Creates a lot of jobs, and not just purposeful jobs, but a lot of entry-level jobs cut their teeth in it. And it's not all contained in the big cities. I mean, you're creating tourism all over. So, of course, we're going to benefit from it. What I think they'll do very well is they're going to take advantage and almost make it our Trojan horse. You're interested in Jasper, come on in. We'll look at their media assets with it. While you're there, look what else we have to offer. You're in good company. You don't have to just go to Jasper. By the way, you want some excitement? Canada's downtown is called Toronto. That's their tourist campaign. You want to go to Vancouver and the Pacific Coast. So we've got an opportunity to play a lot of different cards. Well, what I would suggest, though, is we don't just all play them at once. The beauty about marketing nowadays is not to kind of go, who shouts loudest wins. Create a little scarcity, create an itch, seed out your assets, make people work a little harder. What does it mean, the most boring place in the world? And start digging through it, and next thing you know, well, I have to fill that headline in by talking about what it means, the Rockies,
yeah,
and
if you
the
like
glacier
peace,
falls.
if you like calm, if you like the beauty of nature, if this is your
glaciers
idea of boring,
before they melt.
Come on in, get bored.
And do that and have that sort of tension happen versus going, look at me, look at me. And the other thing Jasper has to come out and say is, we're not for everybody. What do you mean we're not for everybody?
Yeah, we're for royal couples.
Yeah, we're royal couples.
Maybe you're not like that.
Yeah, but this is an ecotourism place. This is a place, yeah, we have luxury. We have the Fairmounts of the world with arm's reach of desire, but we're really embracing the fact that in this crazy world of too much and too many, we're quiet. And I think their marketing strategy should also be quiet.
What about one of the ploys, I guess, that sometimes we rely on is our cheap currency, and the loonie's been under a bit of pressure. Do the Americans take notice of that? I've heard jokes on that front, too. The Americans say, wait a minute, they actually have a different currency up there? Like, we can take advantage of that?
For sure, currency is helping us in tourism. There's a lot of countries that just, no matter what happens, you go to history, you go to London in England, you want, cheese, you go to France, and wine, you go to Italy. I mean, there's places that just stand out as on my bucket list. So Canada, currency is going to help us come into it. But now with social media, it's not just, hey, I went for a cheap holiday. It's, I had a fantastic time. I'm Instagramming my moments. I'm telling people this is a great city to go to.
It didn't cost me a fortune.
Didn't cost me a fortune. So when you get the best of both worlds, affordable and a great experience working for you. And again, that's what Destination Canada has done really well, is that fly fishing that out. So it's not just about the fact that we're on sale, which I would suggest, places like, I went to Cuba because it's a cheap place to go to a beach. We don't want that. We want to went to Canada because it's extraordinary value, and boy, did I ever value my experience. And I think that's a big part of tourism marketing going forward, and personalizing it. These days of DriftNet, I got to make sure I have an ad with the CN Tower's got to be in Niagara Falls and all of this stuff, one size fits all. Crazy, fly fish. Talk about, we can go into social media and know that you love to hunt and fish. We'll show you the best Canada has to offer. You love a culinary adventure? Man, we're going to talk to you about our downtowns. You want to get off and hike? We'll show you hiking. And Fogle Island, you want to go to a hotel that was built by the imagination of a young entrepreneur and now is sitting $1,800 a night? Yeah, but you go there, and that probably would be one of the great hotel experiences. And by fly fishing it out, highly personalized, you say, that is for me. And I think that's what the Jasper big spotlight now has to turn into a million little pen flashlights.